A University of South Carolina student is now suing the federal government to stay here in the country. Matthew Arawula, originally from Nigeria, says immigration officials revoked his student visa without reason. The Nigerian native and doctoral student was preparing to graduate this coming December. Earlier this month, university leaders told him that he could no longer continue his education. Loss of student status puts Matthew at risk of becoming homeless, as he has now lost his stipend. On Friday, a judge temporarily paused his deportation while he waits for his date in court next month. All right, bringing back our chief legal analyst, Collie Rhodes, to break this all down. Multiple cases over the last few weeks where we've been talking about this process called due process, the Fifth Amendment. Is it unconstitutional to just tell someone, here's what's happening, you're going to be shipped out on the next plane or whatever, without being able to say, hang on, can I give some kind of explanation?
Yes. You notice it's kind first required. You want to give a person notice that this is going to occur. And then that second portion is an opportunity to be heard. So you've given me notice. And then typically that notice is 14 days, 30 days. Then I'll have an opportunity to respond to whatever the allegations are.
Right.
If you think I've been engaged in some gang activity, if you think I've been engaged in some criminal conduct, give me an opportunity to explain. Allow me to have my day to appeal, or at least to respond to whatever the allegations are. Well, that's not happening with the Trump administration. If you look at the mass deportations with the planes, that's occurring where folks have not been given an opportunity to be heard. And judges have said in the most recent days that the Trump administration has to slow these down to make sure that they are not violating these individuals' due process rights. And in this situation, this individual is a PhD student with no criminal convictions. The only time he was arrested was a wrongful arrest in Georgia. Those charges were dismissed. And so this person is here coming to study and to teach to better himself. You want these F1 visa folks to come to this country. I have to echo what Elon Musk says. This is probably the only place that him and the president disagree, that you need these higher educated type of folks coming here that will lift education, not only for themselves, but for the other folks. We're granting these people an opportunity to come here and learn and teach because they have something that obviously someone here doesn't have. And we're attempting to not just give them an education, but allow them to bring some things that they have extra to the table. So I am confused on how this individual was targeted. But hey, once again, every day is a new day in this administration. We're learning that no one is hands off. No one is off. There's an opportunity for everyone to be deported if you're here in this capacity. And that's what we're learning.
The South Carolina ACLU, who's defending this PhD student, saying this is not just this singular issue with this South Carolina student. This is a broader issue of unjust deportations targeting international students. If it is found, whether it's this individual student or other students, that they are legal to stay here, there is no reason for them to be deported, can they ever go back retroactively and say, hey, you took my money and stipend away, you kept me from graduating, which then started a snowball effect of the job didn't line up and all those things. Could you ever go back and go, I want all those things back, the harm that it caused me? I don't know.
Is there any recourse? Can you sue them for the failure to get the potential future earnings? You would think so, but I think that would be a long stretch. And typically, folks in this situation just want to be able to stay in the country and finish out their process. Because normally, and it's not in this guy's situation, but as the ACLU has said, this is a broader issue, not just directed to him. Most of the time, you'll come here as the person that has the academic abilities, right? As the F1 visa, and you have the ability to work. So that's great. You can come here and you can work as he was doing. He was a student and he was teaching, but also you bring your family with you. They come here on an F2 visa. They can work, but they can't work in every situation. Your kids can be enrolled in school. So this isn't just affecting one person. This is affecting whole families. When you come here, you're like, wow, I get an opportunity to live the American dream. I'll bring my kids. They can enroll in this same process. So it has a snowball effect when you're saying, okay, we're not just removing these people, removing families that are coming here, trying to tap into the greatness of what this country is supposed to be offering. I think the ACLU may have misstepped when you attempted to get to court to address the broader issue. You filed this complaint regarding this one individual. This isn't even hitting on the whole nationwide injunctions like we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, because those were issues that were done with executive order that went across the board. While I do think the court will address this issue, and it will be something that I don't think there's justification. Typically within the deportation process, you have to have done something outside of the immigration law to have been removed, typically committed some crime, to done and not just a crime, but typically a crime of moral turpitude. If you can't point to that, normally you're not deporting a person. And so I think the court will probably make sure that this situation is solely pointing to his case, because they were not talking about a broader question. It wasn't an executive action. This was something that was done by Homeland Security to this one individual, not by executive order drafting a pen and talking about a whole group of individuals.
Yeah. And a lot of this case specifically is not even necessarily should he be deported or not. It's where is that due process? At least give the individual time to be able to have some kind of challenge to the decision. And so we'll see where this case goes and if there is any trickle down effect. Khalif, thanks.